Dr. Janie. I am so excited to be with everybody today. For all of you all that I
Sarah,
do
your
not.
mic is open, but we do not hear you.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. You can't hear me, huh? Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now we do. I've heard them.
I was saying to myself, what is the issue here? I don't know, but we're going to keep on going. So, hey, everybody. I am Lolita E. Walker for all of you all that I do not know. I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach. I'm also a power speaker, and I love to come to each and every one of you all every single week to leave you with what I call a little bit of power. Okay. So today it is going to be no different. And I hope you can hear this. Let's see. If you can't, then just say, nope, I can't hear you. Hey y'all, hey, it is 7:30 a.m. Yes, this is Lolita E. Walker, and I am so excited to come to you today right here on Breakfast with Champions across all of the platforms. I'm here to bring you just a little bit of coaching, cocktails, and conversations. Coaching is where I leave you just with a couple nuggets to challenge your thinking. Cocktails is not about what you're sipping on. It's all about celebrating the greatness of who it is that you are. And then conversations is the juiciness that we are about to have for the next 30 minutes. Are you ready? I am too. Let's go. All right. I'm so super excited. You all, this week has been amazing. So far. And so today is going to be no different. Because I'm a certified life leadership and executive coach, I get so many clients who talk to me about so many amazing things. And every day I choose to look at life just living in the moment. And it wasn't always there. And I'll tell you that today, the topic that I want to share with you is about leveraging the power of your voice and how we do that even in the midst of circumstance. Today, I'm going to leave you with 5 strategies in the acronym. Y'all know I love a good acronym, but in the acronym voice, VOICE. And I'm going to leave you with those. And today, as I was walking around, I was talking to my son, Walker, about what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm like, hey, he's very good at helping me with words to really bring out the acronym. And today, as I was talking, he came up with one of them, and I'll share that one as we go a little forward. But before we get started, just want to give some shout outs to some people. Hey, Dr. Jeannie, I'm so excited to see you. Morning, we hear you all as well. So thank you, Sandra and Dr. Jeannie, for letting me know that you guys can hear me everywhere. I'm not sure what was happening this morning. I am live on Facebook and Coaching Cocktails and Conversations on my podcast, which will be aired a little later, but this will be aired there as well on Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, LinkedIn, Hey Family. That is where Dr. Jeannie is, YouTube. And then all of you all, it's over 150 folks who are listening in right now to the power of my voice. And for that, I want to say thank you. Listen, today's affirmation when I woke up was this. For all of you all on YouTube, you can see it. It says, I affirm my power by giving it my voice. And I affirm my voice by giving it my power. This is one of the 40 cards in my affirmation deck, but I want to read it to you again because it really sets the foundation of what we're talking about today. I affirm my power by giving it my voice, and I affirm my voice by giving it my power. Far too many of us are silent internally and externally. And today I want to jolt you with a little bit more power so that now you can remember this here. I affirm my power, right? I am affirming the power that is within me by giving it my voice. I'm offering my voice to my power so that now it can be amplified. And there's somebody that's listening in today that needs this to recognize and to be powered with, you know what? My voice has meaning and has impact. And then the second part of the affirmation, it says, I affirm my voice by giving it my power. You can see the relationship right there. And sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do. But today I want to gift you with what these 5 strategies are. Okay. So we only have a half an hour of power, and some of that is going to be armed in you all giving input and leveraging the power of your voice, whether it is that you're typing inside of any of the platforms or that you choose to speak on Clubhouse where we can hear you as well, which is live, or you choose to write me. But today, let's do it live and let's give this amazing information to everyone here. So we have a Facebook user who said, good morning, Lolita. Looking good. Why, thank you. Waiting to hear the acronym for voice. Yes. So get your pens and pads out. If you're a part of the Coaching Cocktails and Conversations community, then you have your Coaching Cocktails and Conversations journal that is ready for you. The V is all about vulnerability, right? When we think of our voice, sometimes it's super scary to be able to leverage your voice. As I talked last week or not too far away, we talked about public speaking and how public speaking is the number one fear, and how if there's four people that are sitting together at a table, three of them have a fear of public speaking, and that public speaking fear is called glossophobia. And we talk through strategies and 5 strategies in the acronym of SPEAK. So go ahead on the podcast and listen to that, either on Breakfast with Champions podcast or on Coaching Cocktails and Conversations podcast, so you can make sure that you get those. However, today I want to talk about the vulnerability. And sometimes when you leverage your voice, you got to recognize that I am making myself vulnerable. So when you know that, you trust that and believe that, then you show up a little bit differently. Vulnerable, meaning that my voice has power. And because I affirm my power, when I speak, it is on behalf of Lolita E. Walker, but the impact on the other side of that sometimes is beyond who it is that I am. And I told you all that it's over 150 people under the sound of my voice right now that's listening live. And then each of you all who will take this further. So somebody is going to recognize that in it, I'm vulnerable too. It's my voice is attached to who it is that I am as a person. So when you think of Lolita, what is it that you think of? Well, the power of my voice is a strength. And when I come with that, then I know that my vulnerability will absolutely help impact the next one. I hope this is making sense. All right. The O is about operating your commitment. I have a past client. I was talking to her this week, and she's going through a divorce. And having gone through a divorce, what I know is that it is a very emotional process. You learn so much about yourself, but you question so much about yourself as well. So whether you were the one that asked for a divorce or you were on the other side of it, it just is an emotional process. It is. And one of the things, strategies that I shared with her is the remembrance of operating in your commitment. So I want you to take this and you can use it at work, at home, at life, because we all are going through something inside of our life. But what if you chose to operate in commitment? So, Lolita, what does that mean? It means that in this instance, what if you chose to operate in your happiness? What if you chose to operate in the commitment of, I am committed to being happy in this short time I have on this earth. I am committed to my children being happy in the short time I have on this earth, right? If you're going through this big presentation that you have and you're starting to question whether or not you are going to be heard at the table or how you're going to be viewed, or you're making a big decision, what is the commitment to you? What is the commitment to the audience on the other side of that? I want you to think through the power of operating in commitment and how that, oh, right there, that operate in commitment can shift how you now show up in the power of your voice. Jacqueline Underwood, missed you. Oh, missed you as well. We are back on our weekly drumbeat. And so Yolanda said, Lolita, yes, all of these gems. Yes, we want to make sure that we can provide it. And here's the thing, everybody, I say this all the time, is that if you can't use all of them, it's okay. Just leave them right there at the bus stop. But here's the juiciness about it all. Pick up what you can, because somebody else will pick up the breadcrumb that you're not able to use inside of this moment. Even if there is only one of these 5 aspects that I'm leaving with you today, these 5 strategies that you can use inside of your life, you say to yourself, so, hey, what if I chose to act inside of this today? I left you with V for vulnerability. Today, we're talking about leveraging the power of your voice. The O is about operating in commitment. What is your commitment to self? What is your commitment to those who are on the other side of your voice? Okay. All right. The I, and this is the one that Walker came up with. My son is in 5th grade, and I was like, let me think about the I. And he said, interact with you. Isn't that good? I know. Interact. And then I said, with the inner you. And what was right beside me? Can we talk? My book. Can we talk? My second book. Can we talk? Yes, it's all about interacting with the inner you. So, what does this have to do with your voice? It has to do with your voice because sometimes we don't interact with our inner voice, right? We think a lot about our outer voice and how that is going to come up and show off for ourselves, right? It's a big deal. But what about interacting with your inner you? Because that's a voice too. Those voices that come in our head, that gut, that gut check, that thing that comes up, those butterflies, those that kaleidoscope of butterflies that's inside of you, that is a voice, right? That is a thing that's inside of you that's bubbling up that tells you, yes, I should do this. No, I should not do this. That inner you. And so in the book, Can We Talk? It has aspects of dear contagious vulnerability, dear fear, dear black girl, dear black boy, dear divorce. I was looking today and I was telling you that one of my past clients, I was talking to her and she's going through a divorce. And I opened up the book today after my son said, interact with you. And what did I turn to? Dear divorce. Come on, God. I'm going to write to her as soon as I finish this right here, because the power in reading that and talking to your inner voice and asking yourself, can we talk? Can we just talk for a minute? Just for a minute, because I want to unlock the doors that are inside of me so I can bring all of the amazingness outside of me, right? Today, we're talking about leveraging the power of your voice in these five juicy, if I must say so myself, strategies that we're talking about today. So let's keep on going. Yes, Dr. Jeannie said operating in commitment. I know just a shift in your mindset. It is, what if I chose to operate in commitment? What does that mean? Well, what am I committed to? What am I committed to today? Let me think. I haven't even asked myself that yet. What am I committed to today? Well, I'll be honest. I am committed to really staying focused and moving distractions out of my way for school. I started school again, second semester for my PhD. Lord, thank you. And help me get through this one right here, because these three classes are difficult. We're going to be writing a lot, writing a lot, writing a lot. And I'll tell you, although I'm a published author twice, it's very different when you're writing for academics. And so today I'm going to be really focused in reading and getting my mind around some clarity on where it is that I'm going with the two proposals I have to write. So for me, I gave you that example because today is about what is it that you are operating in today. Today, I am operating in clarity. Today, I am operating in focusing on the goal that I have and moving all distractions out of the way because it's that important to me. What are you operating in today? Yes, Dr. Jeannie said, semester two, count them down. Yes, yes, and yes. Dammy said, Dear Lolita, so glad to catch you live. Leverage your voice, hun. It is a powerful one. Thank you. And we each have power inside of us. So we talked about vulnerability. We talked about operating in commitment. We talked about interacting with the inner you and saying to yourself, can we talk? Yes. Yes, we can. Sometimes you got to get honest with their inner you so that then you can really speak with that clarity, that confidence, and that commitment outside. Okay. Sometimes we forget to have the conversation with inside. I have this poem inside of that book, Can We Talk? Which, by the way, is on sale at Amazon, like really low. So now is the time to get it. I think when I looked on there the other day, it was less than $20. It's like, what? So get it now. I said, well, my goodness, what's going on? Amazon super sale. They didn't even send me an email and let me know. So make sure you do that before the price goes back up. But there's this poem in there and it's called Dear Forgotten You. Dear Forgotten You. What if you chose to talk to the dear forgotten you? And sometimes it's not all about even reading the words, although I like to read the words in the power, but sometimes it's about hearing it. So there's an audio book for it too. But when you close your eyes and you talk to dear forgotten me, what are you saying? When you talk to your dear contagious vulnerability, what are you saying? When you're talking to your dear fear, what are you saying? When you're talking to your dear consciousness, what are you saying? When you're talking to your dear voice and how you want to get that out, what are you saying? Today is about knowing that I am going to be speaking and interacting with the inner me. Oh my gosh, so good. The C is about crafting the message, which is your message, crafting the message. So sometimes when we want to leverage the power of our voice, we really need to think through it first because, you know, when you jump off and just say something without thinking, sometimes it's not always the greatest. It doesn't come out exactly how you intended it. So if you're anything like me, you want to think about those three things that you want the person to walk away with, whether it's a meeting that you're having with somebody one on one, a difficult conversation that you're having with someone. You want to just talk about what's the three things that I really want this person to walk away with? How do I want this person to feel? That will really encourage you to shift your tone, to come in with intention. And so, leveraging the power of your voice also is about crafting your message because it's yours, crafting the message. Caregiver's passion said, love that, dear forgotten me. Yes, I am talking to myself every day, every day, every day. When I wake up in the morning, I talk to God and then I talk to myself. Lolita, what are you committed to today? Dear forgotten me. Sometimes you got to find those spaces. I don't know when it was, probably a couple weeks ago that I talked to you all about these keys, right? There's these keys that's dangling in front of us every single day. We're walking through it. We miss them all the time. We miss the keys that open up the doors that are right in front of us every single day it happens, right? And sometimes there's something, an experience that happens in our life, a voice that comes into your life that makes you think about something that you really wanted to do, an inch of motivation. So when I'm doing speaking, when I'm talking to people and I'm motivating them, there's something that's attached to them that they grab onto. And that there, what if we consider that a key? So you grab all these keys and then these doors that are right in front of you, your eyes are open differently. The fog is out of your way. You can see a little clearly now and you open it and look at the endless possibilities that are on the other side of that. Imagine if you chose to do that today. Today is about leveraging the power of your voice. I started today with this affirmation right here from my 40 card deck of affirmations, and it says, I affirm my power by giving it my voice, and I affirm my voice by giving it my power. You can use this today as your affirmation. I talked about operating in your commitment. A second affirmation card, I'm telling you, God be like, bang you right on your head sometimes. When I opened up the book, Can We Talk? By the way, which is for trust, in case you're listening to this now, I've had this book that her husband bought for her probably a year, really. And I opened it up and I put a affirmation card in each one of them when someone purchases the book for me. And the card says, this is an affirmation. It says, I am committed to being free and living in what free means to me. I can't even make it up. I'm talking to you about commitment in your voice and what are you committed to? And the affirmation card today, for those of you all on YouTube, you can see it. It says, I am committed to being free and living in what free means to me. Oh my gosh, what does that mean to you today inside of your day? What does freeness mean to you? Right? Oh my gosh, so good. So, Caregivers Passion said, this is an amazing segment. The choice is ours, Lolita. Yes, I'm opening the door wide. Open it up. There's endless possibilities in there. Imagine opening up a door and you're like, yes, what about that? Who told you you can't be a published author? Who told you you can't speak from the mountaintops? Who told you you can't run for office? Who told you you're not ready for that promotion? Who told you that? Was it you? Show up. Do the work. Others will see it and so will you. Let's keep going because today we're talking about leveraging the power of your voice. So the E is about experiencing your impact. I'm really talking to me. So I'm giving it to you. You have an inside look at me talking to me. Is experience your impact. What does that mean and how does it relate to your voice? Well, if my voice has power and I am that power, right? And I'm giving that power back to my voice, then my voice absolutely has impact. How do I know? Because I can see it. I can read it. I'm sharing the comments with you as they're coming in. I have clients who tell me all the time, Lolita, your women's weekend retreat has changed my life. I've been in your coaching group. It's changed my life. I heard you on a segment. It changed my life. Well, I'm excited about that. So that is a demonstration to me that my voice has power, right? And so I'm sure that there's something that you can think of that somebody has said to you, whether it's current or it's years, like you said something to somebody and years later they come back and they're like, you remember when you said that? Look what I did with that thing. Amazing. Your voice has power. Know that, trust that, and believe that today. And sometimes it's so super scary to leverage our voice, but through leveraging vulnerability, through the notion of operating in your commitment, what am I committed to? Through interacting with the inner you, through crafting the message because it is your message, and through experiencing your own impact, we don't pause long enough to experience our own impact. Like, wow, let me talk to me about the impact that I'm having in other people's lives and how am I even using that in my own life? Because sometimes we're not. Sandra Brown wrote down, and I put it back up, but what voice this acronym is that I just talked about right there. So thank you, Sandra. I so appreciate that. What I wanted to say, I want to open it up in case anybody has anything. We have about 9 more minutes before I talk about something else. Okay. So, one of the things that I want everybody to listen to, whether it is that you're listening to the replay or you're listening to my podcast or wherever it is that you're listening to this, inside of the moment where you are, is which one of these strategies will you commit to leveraging today? And I asked my son to get my first book because there is this notion of focus, right? This notion of focus and this notion of clarity that is in my first book. And I want to talk to you about the focus, really, because I was talking about my intention today is focus. When we said operating commitment, what am I committed to today is this renewed focus. And so I haven't read this in a little while, but so I will read it to you. Focus, and it talks about focus fairway. Focus Fairway journeys through fear and will handcuff progression if you allow. Onboard your mind to an emphasis on what is required of you right now. Create your vision for what lies ahead, then assign a clear and a manageable plan, then unthink self limiting beliefs because the shift is right in your hands. Share what you are going through, and I'll see you atop the winner stand because you own it. Right. You own this. So this focus to me inside of this focus fairway, which is stop seven inside my first book, but focus fairway is so important because what it reminds you is that you will journey through fear. So whatever it is that you are committed to today, know that it might not be easy, and know that that is absolutely okay. I know for sure that there's somebody listening to this right now that needs to recognize that today it might be circumstance that's all around me, but I'm going to walk, talk, and behave differently because I'm focused, and everything else becomes a distraction. I know. Everything else becomes a distraction today. And so we own our yes. We respect our no's. Vernita Adele, hello. She said, let's go, Lolita. I love that. Bringing pink and green joy to the room. Um, you know, one of in this book, I talk about the instance that I give to you for focus. I haven't read this in a little while. It starts with, I know I am not coming back home, were the words my dad spoke to me, to my almost 2 year old. And I visited him immediately after landing in Baltimore. He had just gone in for this routine visit. I'm stopping reading. I'll just tell you all the story. But uh, my dad said that to me, I'm not coming home. And he had stage 4 cancer at the time. And I remember that there were so many things happening in my life right now. And so the soul work that's inside of this chapter, inside of the book, talks about, I think this is the one with the dominoes. I hope it is, because that's what I'm saying. Yes, it is. So it has these dominoes. I'll share this exercise with you. I've shared it in my coaching group as well. Is that for all of you all on YouTube, you can see it, is that it has these dominoes, which are written right here. And it has 4 dominoes. I'm describing it to the people who can't see it. The domino 1 has the first black dot on it, the domino 2, 2 black dots, the domino 3, 3 black dots, the domino 4, 4 black dots. And what it says, and each of you all can leverage this right now, is that it says for each domino, what is specifically needed for you. So it talks about what's the things, the dominoes in my life that's really pulling me to focus on them right now. And my dad was a very important focus for me, but there were so many others. So what are all of those dominoes? Because we know with dominoes, you hit one and everything goes. But if one is out of place, if there's anything out of place, it just messes up the whole plan. It messes up the whole flow. And then once you start that domino and you push it, everything falls down. And so, how were we going to line our dominoes up? And this is the exercise for that. And it really talks about what is specifically needed from you in each of those dominoes that are trying to get inside of your space. And then you'll be able to prioritize them, because oftentimes what we find is that we're doing so many other people's jobs, and that if we really focus on what is needed from us for that specific domino, we will not only free ourselves and be able to leverage the power of our voice differently and intently, but we might also move some dominoes from our space. Okay. So we're getting close to time. I think there's about 5 minutes left. And I want to make sure that I ask if there's anyone who has anything that they want to add in. And while you're thinking about that, Sandra Brown said she's rereading old journals and feeling a level of self betrayal. So recommitment is so necessary. Oh, Sandra, that is so good. That's so good. What was I reading today? And somebody said, I went back and I was reading some old journals. I don't know whose post that was, but rereading some old journals. And Sandra said that she's starting to feel this level of self betrayal. So as we're talking about voice, the key strategy here that I'll leave you with is really, she said, recommitment is necessary, but operating in that commitment. What are you committed to today? Thank you so much for that, Sandra. That was really, really good. For those of you all who are just joining or listening back, vulnerability, operating in commitment, interacting with the inner you, and crafting the message, which is your message, and experiencing your own impact is so important when leveraging the power of your voice. Today, I will be doing board work. Today, I'll be doing schoolwork. Today, I'll be doing instructor work. Today, I'll be on mommy duty. Today, I'll be doing AKA work. All of these things require the power of my voice, but am I talking to myself internally to show up the best? Right. And so at the top of Clubhouse, what you will see is my Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat. And so everybody else that's listening in, you can just head on over to lolitawalker.com/retreat. But every September, I used to do it twice a year. Now I'm doing it once a year. Every September, there's so much power in this Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat. I also do it for corporations for their corporate retreats, but there's so much power in it. And what comes as a result of that is me leveraging the power of my voice. But voice can come in so many different ways, whether it's the gestures that Jen talked about when she came to the retreat, or whether it's your voice, or whether it's talking to the inner you to be able to bring out. I want to encourage you to really think about, how are you really sitting? How are you pausing? And how are you leveraging the inner pieces of you so that now when you show up with a different type of intention. Now your voice has more power because you're clear, you're confident, and you are committed to what it is that you are saying and how it is that you are showing up. How do you need to show up in your work, in your life, and in your home? That is what I want to lean in on everybody today. Walk into the fear of leveraging your voice. You need to say something to somebody. Why are you holding it in? You want to craft that message and be able to talk to them so that now they can receive it. Sometimes you have to flex your leadership and your style of communication so that others can be able to receive it. And what better way than making yourself vulnerable, than operating in the commitment of where it is that you're going, interacting with the inner you first so that you can get clear on that thing, crafting your message so that you can lean in on the three things that you want them to walk away with, and then experiencing the impact. How will you experience that tone if somebody was talking to you that way? I want you to think about those things, because whether it is I'm speaking to someone on a platform as a keynote, or I'm coaching someone that is working directly with me, the power of your voice is something that I'm telling you today, I'd love for you to lean into. Lynn Luckett said you have to use these strategies in tandem with each other. They lift each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in these last 2 minutes, I love that Sandra said, head on over to lolitawalker.com retreats. Thank you so much, Sandra, who actually has been to the retreat several times and sent her mom last year as well. So super excited about that. Listen, as we round out here, you all, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to talk to you all one more time. You will hear this on Coaching Cocktails and Conversations podcast, as well as Breakfast with Champions podcast. I'm blessed to be one of the hosts of both of those podcasts. Yay! LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook inside of my Coaching Cocktails and Conversations community. And so with that, I just want to say thank you and head you over there. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Share it out.